So Mary, when you said about a small team of four, right, can deliver very high quality content. So I'm laughing because four to many companies is huge, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Actually, this is where maybe let's say a few companies I run into, they're just getting started, or maybe they're very at the very beginning, or maybe they have done a little bit, right? For them, I'm curious of your take on how what's your advice on their first couple months, right, or a year or so, because often they face a few different passes. Passes one is, hey, the founding team will take on it because they cannot delegate the content and the messaging to other people good enough, so they learn how to do it. At some point, they can't, right? So that's one pass, and they may get some help. They may get fractional help. They may get advisor help, right, along the way. So that's one way. And the other way is the many founders are coming from a highly technical background. This is just not their strength, or it could be even be opposite of their strengths, right? So
Mm.
in that case, many are actually have a very good self-awareness, considering, hey, I'm gonna scale, right? Now my product need to meet with customer. So the first person I'm going to hire is going to be a content marketer, right? But how to do that, right? Who to hire, what kind of profile, right? What kind of seniority often confuses them. So I definitely see a lot of churns, a lot of confusion. So we'd love to hear your take, right? How would the little bit of earlier stage founders deal with this challenge?
Yeah, and to be clear, when I'm saying team of four, I mean that's for like really late stage, almost even public wise, like teams that now were, 10 plus or 30 plus in the previous regimes. That's what I mean, that sort of contraction. To your question, I think you need one person who has demonstrated experience creating great content that moves the needle for the business across at least one channel. It can be their personal brand on there, or it can be for a business itself. In terms of the seniority, it depends. Like I'm biased because I'm senior, so like sure, of course, always hire someone who has a little bit of gray in there. But there's it depends on, what this, I guess, like what the audience is too. But ultimately, I do think content will continue to be even more powerful as a driver across all marketing channels. Um, it's the fuel for your thought leadership. It's the fuel for your social. It's the fuel for your demand gen as well. It is a way to connect with your either prospects or your existing audience before they're ready to buy. And it's just not going to go away. And so it is something that is core. I yeah, I'm still struggling to think about like exact level of seniority, but I one thing that they can do is potentially do like small contracts, right? Like a work like a small project on content. Does this person make sense to work with you? If they're going to be your ghostwriter, like, of course, if they're going to produce that content for you, what is their content strategy? What is their plan? And can they actually do something for that? And you should be able to know that in about a week or two, whether they can do it. Now, there's always going to be other things to learn in terms of specific channels, in terms of specific audiences, the rhythm of your business and that stuff. But from the can they produce good content? Yes or no? You should be able to learn that pretty quickly.
Got it. Makes sense. So yeah, very quickly. So I agree with you. The content, especially as the competition, right, is heated up. The content is becoming even more crucial to take the center stage. But sounds like there is a still potentially opportunity to round up the playbook, right? As you said, there are
Yeah.
different company can tackle this in different ways, and what one consider feasible might not be right manageable to other person. Like you said, hey, it probably take you a week to know who is a good writer, but in other cases, there might be so many agency or freelancers to choose from, right? Not necessarily everyone might have the skill sets, right, to know who to work with. So
Yeah, and it also depends on the type of business, right? Like if you're a seed and it's hard tech or it's infra, like of course you're gonna look for a different skill set than someone who's like great at Instagram Reels necessarily. Like you want to make sure that they can create the kind of content that resonates with your specific audience, or at least if you're still searching for product market fit, the types of audience that you want. And they're like people are complex, everyone contains multitudes, but by and large, you kind of know which channels are resonant with which types of audiences, and you can kind of work backwards from there to find out the content people who would make the most sense for you.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right.
Got
All
really
good.
into
Thank
this. Great.